All right, hello everyone. I send my apologies for not being there today. Last second at my son's school, they had a parent volunteer that could not be there, and they had nobody else from their classroom. And I was just thinking about all the poor kids crying because they couldn't do their activities because they didn't have a parent volunteer there. So that's where I am at. I am hanging out with 4-year-olds at this time. Yeah, no. Yes, hopefully no one cries on me. I guess that's what I'm after. So, okay, so here's what we want to make sure you do. So you should have finished your first picture, and then checked using the transparency, how well did it match up? And like it says up there on the board, listen, if you need to make some adjustments, make some changes to it. This is practice. This is all getting you ready for that project, scale drawing project you'll be doing of the classroom floor. So what we're doing now is we are pretty much giving you what almost looks like the exact same paper again. It's got the sketch that's down the bottom, but the big thing is that the scale has changed. Now we're using inches. All right, so we're using 1 scale inch to 64 real inches. So we're going to kind of get you started on here and then just kind of set you free, much like of what you did yesterday. The thing is when you're going into your the form that you've got right there, and you can see how it's got the A, it's got the B, the C, the D, just right down the chart there, and then it's got the first column. It says it's the real measurement. Remember, that hasn't changed. Okay, the wall hasn't shrunk, it hasn't grown. So using your old sheet, you'll fill in the same numbers. Part A is still 112 inches. All right, B is still 424 inches. C is still 48 inches. D is still 72 inches. What'll end up changing is, sorry, bad 7. A little better, maybe? I don't know. Okay, so the thing that'll change is now, because you are using a different scale, you're going to end up with a different scale decimal. And now, because we are talking about inches, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Now we're talking about inches. Yes, we're using fractions. So that's why in the last one you see the scale fraction that you are dealing with. All right. So again, you can just kind of use the backside as your work. You'll start to kind of figure out the same setup for it there. So let's do one here together. In fact, we'll do 2 of them together. The first one, again, the scale. The scale is 1 scale inch, all right, to 64 real inches. So what we've got is we've got 112 inches, all right, up there, and that's the real inches. So that the 112, okay, there we go. So that's what we're going to end up solving for, is how many of the scale inches it was. Do some cross products here, so 112, 64x, divide both sides by 64, and when you reach for your calculator says 1 75 hundredths. Okay, so the whole fraction thing, all right, convert into a fraction, and I know a lot of you are like, hey, that's 1 3/4 right away. It is, but reach for your calculator. Okay, we want to show you a feature that's on your calculator. So reach for your calculator. So put me on pause if you need to. All right, and what we're looking for is the calculator will actually change it into a simplified fraction for us. So here's what we want. On your calculator, you should have 1.75 on your screen. You're looking for, and it's towards the top, and it's in blue. There's an F, there's an arrow, and there's a D. And what this feature says, it'll change any fraction into a decimal or any decimal into a fraction. So you're going to have the 1.75 in your calculator. You're going to hit the second button, all right? And then you're going to hit that fraction to decimal thing, and it'll appear on your screen. Check with your neighbor here if you need to when you get to it there. If you hit enter then, up on your screen will appear 1, and it looks like the letter U, and then a 3, and then a slash, and a 4. And that's the way the calculator says 1 3/4. All right, so again, nice little feature that's on there, does the conversion for you. Okay, the thing that we've got to keep in mind though is that, like we saw from our graphing, using our ruler yesterday, is that inches is always out of 16ths. So when you're doing your measuring, so it's times 4. So 1 12/16. So just make sure that you're actually, when you do your actual drawing, that you're using 1 and 12/16 from it. All right, let's do one more here. All right, is that kind of, let me reach for the eraser. If the eraser's, there we go. Let's get this all out here. Okay, so setup wise, all right, again, what hasn't changed is the ratio. It's still 1 of our inches, all right, 1 of our scale inches to 64 of our real inches. This time I got 424 real inches. I don't know how many scale inch it is. So we cross multiply here, 424, 64x, divide both sides by 64. So yes, so what you're going to find here is today is you're really just dividing by your 64. So we punch that into our calculator, and your calculator says 6 and 625 thousandths. So that's what your decimal would be. Now, again, we can use that feature of that fraction, all right, to decimal feature to do our conversion. So you should be typing, you should have that in your calculator, the 6 and 625 thousandths. Hit second, all right, so you're going to hit that second, and then that fraction to decimal button, and that should appear on your screen. Hit enter, and your calculator will have up there 6 and 5/8 for you. All right, and then again, remember, it's out of 16ths because it's inches, so you're really graphing 6 and 10/16. All right, so the main thing here is we want to complete our table. All right, your measurements from the wall have not changed. All right, so as much as we've got the 72, go right down the line, just fill those in off of your old sheet. You'll be solving all of your decimals, and then you'll be converting them all into fractions. You should have received or will receive a blank sheet of paper again to do your drawing on. Make sure that you make it go landscape. This one will be a bigger one just because of the scale that's being used. So just make sure when you're drawing it actually fits on your page. So just kind of be careful about that. I think that's it. Your homework is you should have that scale drawing done for Monday. So you should technically have 2 of them done, the one that was due for today. And then if you do finish it in class, there is the transparency that's there that you can check it against. And then lastly, you can do cubes or GMS Learn if that's the case. So hopefully you feel like got things under control. Obviously, you've got neighbors that are around you that are intelligent. Go ahead and look at them right now. Yeah, smile and wave at them. There you go. Okay. Yeah, make use of them as well during this time. If you don't have any rulers, you can let the sub know that they are in that top left drawer. I did forget to leave them out. So again, if you're looking at all the shelves, go all the way to the far left, and it's in that top left drawer. Just ask the sub to open them up there, and those protractors should be on the left-hand side. All right? Okay. Thanks, guys. We will see you on Monday.